Owner and instructor of Real Estate School for Success, broker in charge of the Palmetto Success Team, and author of Success in Real Estate. If you're interested in buying or selling a home, investing in real estate, or becoming a real estate agent, you'll enjoy the Success in Real Estate Show on FM News and Talk 100.1 WVOC. Now, here's Frankie Griffin.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, real estate broker in charge and educator in South Carolina. Thank you for joining me this morning. Looking forward to answering any questions, any concerns about real estate that may be on your mind. That's what this show is all about. We want to help you or at least put you in a position so that whether you're buying or selling real estate, we want to make sure you can make the most informed decision that you can make. And that's the whole focus of the show. But then you may be someone that's thinking about a career in real estate or wanting to get your real estate license or maybe a property management license, appraisal, home inspector, whatever it may be. If you're thinking about getting into the real estate industry, we would love to help you with that at our Real Estate School for Success. We've got many classes. If you just go to our website, you'll see all our courses are laid out here. Our website, again, is www.realestateschoolforsuccess.com. And you can click on the various links, whether you're looking at getting your real estate license or maybe appraisal license, home inspector, whatever it may be. We want to help you out. We're located on St. Andrews Road in the currently called the St. Andrews Center. A lot of people probably still remember it referred to as the clusters of Whitehall. In fact, if you're in this or in our neighborhood, we'd love it for you to just stop by, check us out, ask any questions, take a look at our classrooms. Love to help you out any way we can. But just go to our website, again, www.realestateschoolforsuccess.com. And for those of you that are just thinking about buying, maybe perhaps you're even getting ready to sell your home, love to help you out with that. If you have any questions, that's what this show is for. Just give me a call. I'll certainly do everything I can to help you. The number here in studio is 978-9862. Again, 978-9862. And we'll certainly do our best to answer any questions you have. And honestly, if you're looking at buying a home, I would love to help you with that process. So just you can certainly email me, which is usually the best way to get in touch with me. My email address is Frankie, again, FRANKIE, at frankiegriffin.com. Love to help you in your search for a new home, or if you're selling a home, we'd love to help you out with that. It would certainly be a great honor for me. Well, I got to tell you, in studio with me today is a friend of mine and a student currently at our school, Kayleen Mobley. And how are you doing, Miss Kayleen?
I'm excited. I'm so glad that you're giving me the honor to be here with you this morning.
Well, this is going to be such a treat for me because you've actually got a special announcement that you're going to be making a little bit later in the show. So for those of you that are listening, you do not walk away from the radio. If you're in your car, stay in your car. Don't get out because we've got a huge announcement that Kayleen is going to be making here very soon. But just a couple things I wanted to ask you about, because you're currently in the class, the real estate class. You're trying to get your real estate license.
Yes.
Which started this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got the first week down and then the second week coming up next week. But just curious, what is this? Is it anything like what you thought it was going to be?
Not hardly. Not at all, actually. I thought being, a homeowner, obviously I've purchased a home and I've purchased a couple of rental properties as well for my dad. So I thought I had a tad bit more general knowledge of real estate than maybe the average bear, but not at all. I would consider myself pretty ignorant before your class. There's so much to learn and so much to know.
Well, I would not consider the ignorant part whatsoever. But you're absolutely right, because just about everybody, when they come to the class, they are just really amazed at how in-depth and how broad the spectrum is. I mean, there's a lot of things you really need to understand about real estate. But you're right, about the only perspective most people have is when they're actually buying or selling the home. Isn't that true?
That's very true. It's actually scary looking back now. When my husband and I first bought our house 12 years ago, what kind of troubles and difficulties we could have got ourselves into. Thankfully, it didn't, but just not knowing and not having someone who's knowledgeable and diligent in representing you in whether purchasing or selling a home, that's pretty key, because there's just so many laws and regulations and so many things that you can get in trouble with. You
are absolutely right. I tell you what, Kaylee, what I'd like to do, I want to go ahead and take our first break right now. In fact, let's just go ahead and get that out of the way, because I want to make sure we've got time in these other segments, especially in light of this huge announcement Kayleen's going to be making right here on the Success in Real Estate show. But again, if you're listening and you have any questions at all about buying a house or selling a house or the value of your property, just any kind of question at all dealing with real estate, we would love to help you with that. Go ahead and give us a call. Our number here in studio is 978-9862. Again, 978-9862. You're listening to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin on FM News and Talk 100.1 WVOC. All right, good morning again. Welcome back to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, broker in charge and real estate educator in South Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. In studio with me, I've got Miss Kayleen Mobley, and she's a current student right now at the Real Estate School for Success. And a little bit later on in the show, or at least in a few more minutes, she's got a huge announcement we're going to be breaking on this show. And I think it's awesome news. I can't wait till let's really get into it, but I'm going to keep you in suspense just for a few more minutes. But it is some pretty big news. Going to be very, very good, I think. But anyway, I wanted to sort of get back and just talk to you, because I don't really get a chance to talk, at least on the radio, to many of the students about what, the training and the classes and stuff. But one of the things that I have told people many times, even if you're not thinking about actually starting a career or practicing real estate, the information you're going to learn in this class the next time you actually buy or sell a house can save you thousands of dollars. And I know that we're just halfway through, but can you see any of that?
Absolutely. I mean, the way that you teach the class is very, very engaging and practical. It's not, some of it isn't the most exciting information, but most of it is stuff that I feel like any homeowner or someone obviously who plans to one day become a homeowner should know. And that's why I referenced earlier how scary it is looking back at when my husband and I first purchased our house. Really important information.
And I got to tell you, and one part that we've already covered, in fact, we covered on the first day of class, almost everybody, by the time we finish up that first day, will make a comment, because a lot of people anyway have bought and sold houses and used real estate agents to represent them and help them through the process, which is a good thing. But then you hear so many times, I'll have a student come up, but Frankie, my agent did not do that, or my agent did do this, and I'm talking about things that the law requires agents to do that sometimes may be overlooked or just not provided.
Right.
And then there's things the law says they must not do, but yet they're out there doing. Is that something that you noticed also?
I've experienced that a lot. I've always had a passion for real estate. My husband and I, that's one of the things that that I do on my downtime just because I enjoy looking at real estate. And I don't contact agents very often because I know that time is money. And it's something I'm just doing more for my personal enjoyment. But I had no idea that a lot of things that I've experienced personally with real estate agents, like you said, whether they did do or didn't do, was illegal because I've experienced that.
Yeah.
So that's also scary. It's like I said, all the information that you're sharing in your class is really, really helpful, and it blows my mind how much there is to know and how much agents should know and what their how high their responsibility is when they're representing a client.
Sure. In fact, I'll just go ahead and say this. One of the biggest issues I think out there, and let me say this too, even though there are some agents doing some things that technically are not right, and in some cases could be considered illegal, just by the word of the law. I don't think they're out there intentionally trying to break the law. I think sometimes you just sort of get caught up into what's going on, and you sort of lose track of what you should have done versus what you've already done, and things like that. So I just want to make sure nobody misunderstands what I'm saying. I don't mean, nor do I intend to say agents are out there with the intention of causing harm or anything like that. So please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. When things are done wrong, it's usually just an oversight or maybe a lack of a complete understanding of how things should work. And I guess here's one of the big ones. I'll just throw this out there to think about. But, the law in South Carolina says we must practice under the law of agency. If you're going to practice real estate, it must be under the laws of agency. Well, the law of agency says if you're a real estate agent and you're going to be working with a buyer or a seller, then you must be representing that person as a client. You cannot provide professional services to anyone that's not a client. Well, it goes on and says if you're going to be a client, the only way you can become a client, you're going to have to sign a contract, an agreement. We call it an agency agreement, which establishes the relationship between the agent and the buyer or the seller, whoever you're working with. And, I talked to a lot of agents, Kayleen, and when I ask them why you didn't get that contract signed, I guess the number one answer I get is I know what the law says, but the law is impractical because who's going to sign a contract for representation when we have first met? We've just met. We don't even know each other. Why are we signing this right now? Well, nobody in their right mind would do that. So I'm not going to push the issue and get into it. I'll wait till later into the relationship, maybe once we find the house we like. I hear that a lot. But at the end of the day, that's still a violation of the laws of agency in South Carolina.
Right. And, I see their point. In fact, that was the thing that first came to mind when you mentioned things that agents don't always do. That they should, because I've experienced that more than once, and had no idea that they were in fact breaking the law. But I think their point or their view, and I can absolutely understand it because from a customer's perspective, I would see them as trying to be a pushy agent and trying to bind me into something with them when, like you said, I don't even know them. I don't know that I want them to represent me yet.
Sure.
But in your class, you did a fabulous job of explaining how you do that with the customer, and help them to become a client without feeling like they're that you're being pushy or that they're being
sure
trapped into being.
And you're exactly right. And for those of you that are listening, maybe you are thinking about buying, or maybe you are working with an agent right now and you have not signed an agreement. I'll just say this. I think if it's explained properly, buyers, especially the buyers, will insist on a signed contract. Because buyers, let me just tell you, it is the reason that contract is required is not to protect the agent. It's not for the good of the agent. The state requires this written agreement to be in place so that all the protection now goes to the buyer or the client. Honestly, if I'm a real estate agent, I would just assume not have this agreement, because y'all, first of all, it's a fiduciary or a legal relationship, which now once you sign it, there are 6 duties, and we won't get into all that right now today, but there are at least 6 fiduciary duties that now agents are required to provide by law. And buyer, if you have signed this agreement and your agent fails to provide any of these duties, or they fail to provide anything they said they were going to do for you, now you've got legal recourse against if it should go to that. I'm not trying to promote a bunch of suits and complaints and stuff like that. But my point is, if you have a problem with an agent and you don't have a written agreement with them, then all you can do is fuss and whine. That's it. With the written agreement, you now have, if need be, you now have legal recourse, and you can do things or have things done about that. But I guess the biggest thing we need to consider is, at least if you're the real estate agent, remove that perceived risk. And I think what the perceived risk is, I know if I'm the buyer and I'm looking at, and I've got somebody I really don't know anything about, and they're asking me to sign a contract with them right now, yeah, I would probably want to push back from that. Unless you tell me it's just for a couple of hours, or maybe just for today. Mm-hmm. Let's just get to know each other.
Right.
And there's no reason you can't do that. There's nothing in that contract agreement or the law that says this contract has to be for 6 months or anywhere less or more. It's to fill in the blank. So you can make it for as long or as short as you want to. So that's why I recommend at least buyers that I work with, I want to let's get it signed, because I want you to have all your legal rights afforded to you. But let's just do it for a short time. Let's just do it for today.
And I think it's important that customers, soon to be clients, realize that the purpose of that is to, like you said, protect them. It's not a protection for the agent. And something that I've learned in your class is most of the laws and regulations are to protect the client.
Right.
They're looking out for the client, which is great. They're the ones who have the biggest investment, obviously.
Yeah. In fact, that's a state exam question you just brought up. I mean, the purpose of any of these laws, the purpose of the Real Estate Commission, the answer is to protect the public.
I'm writing this down.
All right. And obviously the public would not be, if you're a real estate agent and have your license, then you're not the public. So these laws were written to actually protect the public against or from real estate agents. So if you don't have that written agreement, buyer, you're putting yourself in a position of compromise. And I wish we had all day to go through it, but we can't right now. But anyway, hopefully that gives you a little insight on some of the things that we do talk about. We do need to go ahead and take our bottom of the hour break, but I'll just tell you, on the other side of this break, I'm going to ask Kayleen what this big announcement is, so you certainly do not want to miss this. Again, we also are here for you, so if you have any questions at all, either for Kayleen or myself, give me a call. The number in studio is 978-9862. Again, 978-9862. I'm Frankie Griffin. You're listening to Success in Real Estate on FM News and Talk 100.1 WVOC. All right, good morning again. Welcome back to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, broker in charge and real estate educator. Thank you so much for joining us. Love to answer any questions, talk to you. I know we got a couple of callers on the line, and I'm fixing to go to them. But if you have any questions, certainly give me a call. The number here in studio is 978-9862. Again, 978-9862. And again, in studio with me today, I've got Miss Kayleen Mobley. She's a current student, has completed the halfway point of getting her real estate license. So within the next couple of weeks, she'll probably have her license. And I'm sure she'll be getting many calls about buying and selling real estate. But let's go ahead and go straight to our phone lines, where first up we've got Crystal on the line. How you doing, Miss Crystal?
Hey, Frankie, how you been?
Oh, this is such a fine day today.
It is.
What you up to?
Oh, I was just calling to check in with you and just to thank you for all your instruction. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary of getting my license from the Real Estate School for Success. And,
Awesome.
Doing well.
Yes, and you're, of course, now you're in Sumter.
I'm in Sumter.
And you're working on, what is it, the 4th or 5th million? I forget what you told me.
I almost got $2 million.
Woohoo!
Way to go, Crystal.
You go, girl. I tell you what, that's a huge accomplishment in the first year.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Well, I appreciate you giving me a call.
Yeah, just do what Frankie says and make those great, alliances with good service providers, and I think everybody can do well.
I think just do what Frankie says is. In fact, could you call
In a
my
nutshell.
wife? You call my wife.
Oh, no. Do what Kay says first.
All right, sweetie. Well, thank you for calling.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
All righty. You do the same. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see. We've got, goodness, boy, these phone lines are Kayleen comes on the air, and everybody's calling in. So let's see. Now we've got Julie. How you doing, Julie?
Good. How are you?
Oh, this is such a fine day today.
Good.
Well,
hey, Kayleen, this is Julie down the street.
Hey, Julie! My precious
Actually,
friend.
called in to congratulate you for one. What a good job you're doing.
Thank you so much.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
And the second thing I'm calling about is actually for one of my family members, my dad.
Okay.
And just kind of trying to figure a way to help him out. But he owns 2 properties, and he's getting close to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to do it in a quicker way to sell these houses so he can retire. And I know Craigslist is out there and some other alternatives, but we're just trying to find a good way, a good reliable way to do this, to sell his houses.
Okay. Well, how quick does he want to sell? Let me ask you that.
It would be within the next 9 months.
Okay, so you got a little time.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly by that time, and probably within the next 2-3 weeks at the most, Kayleen will be licensed, and that would be what I would recommend.
I'm all over it, baby.
Good. I'm glad to hear that one.
Now, I mean, honestly, he could sell it himself, and a lot of people sell by owner, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And I'd be the first to admit it. And the advantage by selling it by owner could save you some commission that you would otherwise have to pay a real estate agent. But what I find a lot of time, unless you got a lot of time on your hands and really have a really good understanding of what's going on within a transaction, you may find what you pay a real estate agent, it's well worth it once you get involved with it yourself.
Okay.
There are, you say he's got 1 investment property or 2?
He's got 2 investment properties, and they're both currently being rented, so they both have occupants as of right now.
Well, I don't think he would have any trouble selling them. Now's a great time to sell, for sure. Mm-hmm. In fact, if he wants to sell, I would say let's talk to Kayleen here when we get off the air and see what you can work out.
Okay.
Will that work?
And I trust her, too, on top of her becoming a professional real estate licensed person, so that'll work out great for us.
Well, you know what, and you mentioned that you know Kayleen, and and I got to tell you, it's so important in any occupation, but especially in real estate, because it's such a people type of business. It's critically important to feel like you can really trust the individual, that you're putting a very large investment in their hands.
That's exactly right. And she has a pretty strong network, I think, of people and friends and family. So I think that's going to help her in her career and starting.
I have no doubt she's going to be incredibly good at real estate.
She's very well spoken, too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Of course, you're hearing that right now. Mm-hmm. So is the rest of the world. But well, Julie, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
I love you, Julie.
Love you, girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's see. Let's go straight back to our phone lines, where now we've got David on the line. How you doing, David?
I'm fine. It's about timeshares. Does anybody specialize in timeshares, or we are? My father's estate contains one. Both my sister and I are not interested in it, and so we would like to know how to get rid of it.
Well,
it's a nice facility. It's just a very inconvenient week for us.
Right.
It's during the school year, and so it doesn't work.
Well, I tell you, that is definitely a specialized market because they can be very difficult to sell. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I've had people call into the show telling me that they have one that they're willing to give away, basically just to take over the fees.
We're perfectly aware of the actual value. We're not trying to make money on it. We're just trying to.
Right.
Basically, it's just holding up the rest of the estate.
No, and I totally understand that. I wish I could say I could help you, but the timeshares is just not something I have gotten into at all. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but there's certainly not much I can do to help you sell it. You know, if you get online, you can certainly, maybe Google.
We get calls at least once a week from people offering to, for a fee, we'll market it or we'll buy it from you and all this stuff. And we've been to some of those seminars.
Yeah. Well, and that may be the way to go. I mean, unless you can find somebody that's looking for a timeshare and willing to purchase it from you.
Well, like I said, we're not against going that way. It's just hard to tell the complete scams from the other folks. But
no, you're exactly right. And I wish there was something. One person I might recommend, if you'd like to call him, is Andy On, and now he's an attorney here in town, and he does a lot of real estate stuff. He may not that he would be able to sell it necessarily, but he may very well know somebody that he could recommend to you.
Okay, how do you spell that last name?
A-U-N. On.
A-U-N.
Yeah, Andy On. He's with On and McKay Law Firm.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Have a great day. All right. Well, we've had quite a few phone calls already, and so, Kayleen, I can't wait to hear the news. Now, there's something that's been on your mind for quite some time, and I know you've been discussing with your husband, with Travis, and well, why don't you just tell us what's the big news? What's going on, and what are you planning to do here soon?
Should I do a drum roll?
Yes.
Or just go for it? All right.
That's about the best I can do.
That'll work. I am very excited to announce that I will be running for town council for the town of Springdale.
That is awesome. I got to tell you, and it really makes me excited to start hearing, and this is not a slam on anybody else out there that's running for office or has run, and I'm not trying to go there, but it's just so refreshing to start to see some people like yourself that and because I know, because we go to the same church together, I know you're a Christian, and you love Jesus and all this and all that, but I want to see more God-fearing people going back into public service.
Absolutely.
Because I'm afraid we've missed that over the last several years, and it's coming back to hurt us. So we need some really good people, God-fearing people, very educated, very smart people. And when I looked that definition up, I saw your picture beside that definition.
Did you?
I did. And so for you to be running for town council, and that's Springdale Town Council, I just think that is awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
I'm really excited.
And I congratulate you on that decision. And just curious, is there anything in particular that sort of led you to wanting to do this that you want to talk about?
To be honest, as a resident of Springdale for the past 12 consecutive years. I've lived in the town of Springdale for longer than that, but we purchased our home there about 12 years ago. We love Springdale. We love the community. We love the schools. My oldest daughter is 19. She started kindergarten at Springdale. And my middle daughter went through Springdale, and now I have my son there. We know all of it's just a great place to live. First, I want to thank all of the council members and public servants in the town of Springdale for their service, and they have done a great job, and I'm truly thankful for the commitment and service that they've provided for the town and its citizens. I just feel like, if you care about your community and you have the opportunity to serve it, then it's a privilege and a right, and I just would like to exercise that right, or at least be given the opportunity. So I'm excited to really, I don't know if I should even say this, but I don't typically try to say the right things. I just say, I'm honest, I'm an open book, so I'm not into politics. It's really not my thing. I'm not interested in politics, but I'm very interested in my community and doing my part to help my community and just look out for the greater good of my community, not myself and not anyone I know. No one's status is going to have any influence on the decisions I make. The decisions I make will be based on what I believe prayerfully will be in the best interest of my town, the community, and its citizens.
That is awesome, and I am so excited about what you're doing, the decision, and I just wish we could get more to get into the public sector like you're about to do. And some people say, Frankie, what's that got to do with real estate? Why would you even bring this onto this show? And I got to tell you, it's got everything to do with real estate. And we're going to talk about that. I need to go ahead and get this last break out of the way. So let's go ahead and do that. But if you have any phone calls, or maybe you want to congratulate Kayleen or give her some advice, give us a call. The number's 978-9862. Again, 978-9862. You're listening to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin on FM News and Talk 100.1 WVOC. All right, good morning again. Welcome back to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, real estate broker in charge and educator in South Carolina. And I do thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've got several people I know have been listening to this big announcement that Kayleen Mobley, which is here in studio with me, has got. And in case you missed it before the break, Kayleen, what's the big announcement again?
The big announcement is that you should vote for Kayleen Mobley, Town Council for the town of Springdale.
Outstanding. Yeah, Kayleen, she is running for Town Council, town of Springdale. Mm-hmm. Be voting this year, but we got a couple phone callers on the line, so let's go straight to our phone lines. Well, first of all, we got Tracy. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, this is a blessed day today.
I am very excited to hear Kayleen's announcement.
Well,
thanks, Tracy.
Now, do you know Kayleen?
Yes, I do. Kayleen is a very close friend of mine.
Awesome.
And I just wanted to take this moment to congratulate her and tell her how proud I am of her for taking this opportunity to run for town council for town of Springdale. I think that she would do a fabulous job over there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, friend.
And you know what? This is not easy. Running for office, of any office, it's just not easy. It takes time away from family. So it is a huge decision, but as she said, she wants to help those around her in the town. That's awesome.
Well, and Kayleen has a huge heart, and I know that she can definitely do the job, and I know that she would do it with her best capability. And I love Kayleen. I think she's a great person, and I just wanted to take the time to call in and congratulate her for doing so.
Well, appreciate you doing that. Hope you have a great day yourself.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, let's, we need to go ahead back to the phone lines where now we've got Beth. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, good morning. Hey, Kayleen, this is Beth.
Oh, hey, Beth.
Hey.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you. It's get in our leadership. I'm in all of you. I think that's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. And listen, I wanted to also, if it's okay, just make a comment on the timeshare the guy called in about.
Yes.
There are a lot of people out there who are scamming people with timeshares. But if they'll just go talk to the people that have it, maybe they can use it as an investment. That's pretty much what I did.
Sure. That's a great idea. I like
that. Instead of giving something away, it may be worth something to, make a little bit extra income.
Sure.
Especially in today's economy, how it's going. So that's what I wanted to add.
Okay. Well, Beth, I thank you so much for calling in, and I know Kayleen does.
Yeah, Kayleen, I'm so proud of you, girl.
Thank you, Beth. You take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks so much. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, so, we've got another phone caller, so let's go ahead right back to our phone lines. For now, we've got Michael. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing well. How you doing, sir?
Oh, this is a blessed day today.
It sure is. I just called to say I also am friends with Kayleen, and one of the greatest things I like about what she's doing is Kayleen has sought hard to decide if she wants to do this. And I think what makes a great politician great is when they don't necessarily want to do it, they just know somebody needs to do it. And I think Kayleen feels very strong that she owes this to her community, and that's what I want people to know, is why she's doing this is for all the right reasons and none of the wrong reasons. And for that, I congratulate Kayleen and wish her the best of luck.
Well said.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, we got the mayor on the line.
This is
Well, she brought that up. I did. I've talked to Kayleen for a long time when I decided to run for mayor, and we just need regular people.
Well,
we just need people who are God-fearing, as you stated, and people who just want what's best for their town, period, and for the citizens of the town. And that's all.
Well,
no special interest or long-term career people.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I can't thank you enough for calling in. She'll do an awesome job, that's for sure.
She sure will. She'll probably win, and I won't, but that'll be just fine.
All right. Well, I hope you have a fine day yourself.
I always do. Y'all take care.
Bye, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Well, I tell you what, that's exciting, and I got to tell you, and because we got about 45 seconds left, but I just wanted to say the reason I'm encouraged that you're getting into, especially because now you're going to be having some real estate background, it is just so imperative for any council member or anybody that is in a position to make decisions that affect others, the public. It's just so important to understand that these decisions can and will most often have a positive or a negative impact on real estate, and you're dealing with the public's largest investment, and that is just so huge. And I am so thankful that you have made the decision you have.
Thank you so much again for the opportunity to be here. This has been great.
Well, I'm sure that there'll be some other information coming out.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you'll have a Facebook page and all this stuff. But
a blimp, everything. Look for it.
Well, whenever you get information or ways to get in touch with Kayleen and information about you, let me know, and I'll certainly make sure it gets broadcast to as many people as I can reach. That's for sure. Well, we're about out of time, and so, but Kayleen, thank you so much for giving up your Saturday morning to come in and spend with me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frankie.
Hope you have a blessed day, and thank you for listening. Hope you have a very safe, wonderful weekend. You've been listening to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin on FM News and Talk 100.1 WVOC.